Once upon a time, on a peaceful farm, there lived a hard-working ox. He was strong and reliable, always willing to lend a helping hand to his farmer. One day, while plowing the field, the ox accidentally stumbled upon a rake and broke it. At first, he was terrified and felt embarrassed about what he had done. The ox knew that he had to be honest with the farmer and tell him what had happened, but the thought of admitting his mistake made him anxious. He felt that the farmer would be angry and punish him for breaking the rake, so he decided to run away and hide. Days went by, and the farmer noticed that the ox was missing. He searched for him all around the farm but couldn't find him. Finally, he stumbled upon the broken rake and realized what must have happened. Feeling worried about the ox's well-being, the farmer went out to search for him. After a while, he found the ox hiding behind a bush. The ox was trembling with fear, and his eyes were filled with tears. The farmer asked the ox what was wrong, and at first, the ox hesitated to speak. But after a while, he gathered the courage to confess what he had done. He told the farmer that he accidentally broke the rake while plowing the field. The farmer listened patiently to the ox's confession and was touched by his honesty. He forgave the ox for breaking the rake and praised him for having the courage to come clean. The farmer told the ox that honesty is always the best policy and that he should never be afraid to tell the truth. From that day forward, the ox realized the value of honesty and made it a point to be truthful no matter what. The farmer trusted him more and relied on him even more than before. The ox was proud of himself for making the right choice, and his honesty had earned him the respect and admiration of everyone on the farm. In the end, the ox learned that being honest is not only the right thing to do, but it is also a trait that can earn you trust, respect, and admiration. Once upon a time, in a quaint little town, there was a newspaper boy named Tommy. Tommy was a dedicated young lad who would wake up early every day to deliver newspapers to the people in his town. One day, as Tommy was delivering newspapers, he noticed an old man struggling to pick up his newspaper from the ground. Tommy quickly rushed to help the old man and handed him the newspaper. The old man was grateful for Tommy's help, and Tommy was happy to lend a hand. From that day on, every day when Tommy delivered the newspaper, he would bring it straight to the old man's doorstep. He even started bringing the old man's mail along with it, saving him the trouble of walking to the mailbox. The old man appreciated Tommy's kindness, and the two of them became good friends. The old man would share stories with Tommy about his life and the town in the olden days, and Tommy would share stories about his own life and the things he loved. One day, the old man surprised Tommy by buying him a brand new bike. The old man had noticed that Tommy's bike was old and worn out, and he wanted to show his appreciation for Tommy's kindness. Tommy was overjoyed and couldn't thank the old man enough. The old man was happy to help and even more pleased to see the joy on Tommy's face. From that day on, Tommy continued to deliver the newspaper to the old man's doorstep, but now he rode his new bike. The two of them would often sit on the porch and enjoy the morning breeze while they chatted. Tommy learned a valuable lesson that day, that even the smallest act of kindness can go a long way. His simple act of delivering the newspaper to the old man's doorstep not only made the old man's life easier, but also brought them together and formed a beautiful friendship. As Tommy rode his new bike, he smiled, knowing that he had made a difference in someone's life. He continued to deliver newspaper with joy and a sense of purpose, knowing that he could make a positive impact on someone's life, even if it was just one person at a time. Mr. Jackson enjoyed taking long walks every day, relishing in the fresh air and beautiful scenery. One day, while out for a walk, it started to rain. Unfortunately, he had forgotten to bring an umbrella and soon found himself completely soaked. As he walked by an umbrella stand, Mr. Jackson realized that he had forgotten his wallet and wouldn't be able to purchase an umbrella. Disappointed, he continued on his way home. However, the kind-hearted umbrella seller had noticed the elderly man walking in the rain without an umbrella and assumed he had forgotten both his umbrella and wallet. Without hesitation, the seller picked up an umbrella and ran to Mr. Jackson. "Sir, you're getting soaked. Please take this umbrella for free," the seller said. Mr. Jackson was surprised and grateful. He thanked the seller and offered to pay for the umbrella the next day, but the seller just waved his hand and ran back to his stand, saying, "No need to pay. Stay dry, sir." Under the shelter of the umbrella, Mr. Jackson felt a sense of warmth and gratitude. He realized that even in today's world, there were still kind and generous people who would go out of their way to help others, even strangers. Once he arrived home, Mr. Jackson couldn't stop thinking about the kind umbrella seller. The next day, he returned to the same street corner to look for him. When he found the seller, Mr. Jackson offered him some money as a token of his appreciation. The seller smiled and shook his head. "No need, sir. I was just happy to help." From that day on, Mr. Jackson always carried an extra umbrella with him to give to someone who might need it. He learned that kindness is contagious and that even the smallest acts of generosity can have a big impact on someone's life. Once upon a time, in a small town nestled in the mountainside, there was a lady named Kimberly. Kimberly was a passionate advocate for the environment and believed that preserving the natural beauty of the area was of utmost importance. She believed that the mountainside and rural areas should remain untouched, as they were the lungs of the earth and vital to the health of the planet. Kimberly knew that many developers were eyeing the mountainside for their next construction projects, but she was determined to fight against them. She started by educating the townspeople about the importance of preserving the environment and how construction could harm the ecosystem. She organized community meetings and invited environmental experts to speak about the impact of construction on the natural world. Despite her best efforts, the developers were persistent in their pursuit of profit, and they continued to push their plans for construction. Kimberly knew that she needed to take more drastic action to protect the mountainside, so she decided to take matters into her own hands. She rallied a group of passionate individuals and together they started a peaceful protest. They marched along the mountain paths, holding up signs that read, "Keep the country country," and "Protect our earth." They made their presence known, and their message was clear: the mountainside was not for sale. Their protests gained national attention, and people from all over the country joined their cause. The developers were taken aback by the level of support Kimberly and her group had received. They realized that they could no longer ignore the voices of the people and the importance of protecting the environment. In the end, the developers backed down, and the mountainside remained untouched. Kimberly's efforts had paid off, and she had succeeded in preserving the natural beauty of the area for future generations to enjoy. Kimberly's story is a testament to the power of the individual and the impact that one person can have on the world. Her unwavering dedication to protecting the environment inspired others to join her cause and help to make a difference. As we face the challenges of climate change and environmental degradation, we can all learn from Kimberly's example and do our part to protect our planet.